money, pesa, dough, mula, mkwanja, ganji, mukutu. It's the one thing that you need if you're looking to either own a home or an apartment building or even a commercial building. But where do you get this money? Who can help you secure finances? And once these finances are secured, how do you ensure that these finances are used wisely? And just in case you ran out of finances before your construction is completed, is all hope lost? How do you recover from this? These are some of the questions that we are going to answer this week on this show, where we highlight ways to build better and own a house affordably. I'm Martin Tujenge, and this is Tujenge. Build it better. Picture this. You're in the middle of building your dream home, then one day you realize the money that you have left is not enough. You won't be able to complete your dream house. What do you do? Laying the foundation of our problem today is Frederick Kihu, together with his consultant, aka his wife. They embarked on a journey to secure a home for their young family, but ended up with only a quarter of his dream home realized. We are standing in what seems to be an incomplete building, but what people don't know is that you still live here. Hii journey yako ilianziaje?
Well, it started in 2019. That is when I made the resolution. I did not wait for January, like most people. What I decided is, yes, I decided I have to move out of this rent-paying business. But I was afraid, like you would usually be, of starting this journey. But what gave me the motivation to start real quick and just go headstrong, my mom-in-law happened to have one of her buildings that were apparently at the time they were on the road. Road reserves. Road reserves, yes. So what happened is demolitions. Now I asked her, these bricks, could we have them removed carefully in a way that they can be reused? Because I think these are the bricks that are going to build. Yes, even though I will need to add some more, these ones will get me started. So that's what actually now made it urgent. Because now I couldn't let those bricks after the demolition. I had to go and get them real quick.
Hey, wewe ndio mtu wa kwanza nimesikia amefanya hivyo. Hiyo ni ujanja lakini.
Ni ujanja na ujasiri.
So haukuwa umejipanga kuanza kujenga?
Sikuwa nimejipanga, lakini niliamua. Kwa sababu nilirealize, nimekuwa nikitaka sana kujenga. Lakini hiyo wakati ya kuamua kiroho safi haikuwa inafika.
So were you financially ready to begin? Kwa sababu unasema ni mawe imepatikana, lakini shamba ulikuwa nayo, ulikuwa na mchanga, ulikuwa na simiti.
Your answer is no. I was not financially ready. Not close. So I had to make a plan with the facilities that were available, of course loan facilities, so that I can make my dream happen.
Before I continue with Frederick's journey, I was keen to note that he knew where to get the money to start off building his home, but do I? I caught up with Christine Gadhioni, a financial advisor, to help me find the money.
I would advise that if you want to build, you start with looking for your savings, divest from your investments, and get 40% of that budget up front and begin the building. If you don't have any savings, but you are in a SACCO, for example, that should be your first stop. The reason is SACCO, the interest is much, much lower than most of the other financial institutions. If you belong to a chama, the same thing. You just approach your chama and take the loan from there. Basically, when you take a loan, you should look at how much interest you're paying on it so that you know whether you can afford it, and that's why I'm recommending the SACCOs and even microfinance institutions above banks and mortgages.
Mortgage. A lot of people hear that word and run. You mean mortgages are an option?
If it's for building, I would advise you have at least 40% of the cash upfront yourself before you seek the mortgage. The reason for that is building is quite sensitive and time sensitive. So you don't want to begin building when you have only 5% or 10%. Actually, if your budget, say, is 5 million shillings for building, ideally you should even have another 10%, like 5.5 million, just in case, you know, for the miscellaneous.
Can I use my salary? Or do I get a loan or a mortgage? Or do I build slowly? As they say, moja moja ni 50 bob. Is it actually advisable to save up pole pole to build later?
First of all, how much disposable income do you have? After you've paid all your expenses in a month, do you have a disposable income? The second thing to do is, how will you maintain that home? Because a home, even though you're no longer paying rent, you have land rate fees, you have maybe a neighborhood fee, you have all the other amenities, there's maintenance. So there are all these things to consider just before you make that step. If you have 20% disposable income that can go towards a mortgage, that is ideal. The higher side is 35%, a third. So what I would say is the person who is renting and constructing at the same time should have another source of income, because your income already caters for your rent and your other expenses. So if you don't have an alternative source of income, try and look for one before you begin, so that you don't get stuck. You're paying rent and then you're in construction and then you're not able to complete.
Okay, I've got the money now. What's my next step?
Okay, the next step after you've gotten your funds and your construction plans is you need to shop around. When it comes to your own plans, sometimes a standard design is cheaper than a custom design for a home. So you need to look at what is available already before you go for that, because it changes the cost quite a bit when it's a custom design.
Okay. Unaishi hapa, lakini bado nyumba haijaisha. So first off, kwa nini haikuisha? What happened?
Pesa ilisha.
Okay. Straightforward.
Yeah. Pesa ilisha.
Ile mpango ulikuwa nayo, pesa ilisha.
Yes, lakini the money that I was also able to get, I knew would not complete the house. So what I had to do is just make sure I have a structure and make sure I have at least finished a section that is habitable by my family. And that was it. At least I achieved that much. Yes.
So the original plan was what bedroom house?
4-bedroom house. And then everything else as it is.
Okay.
The kitchen, the pantry, all that.
But now you said that you modified a section of it. Nandiko mnaishi.
Yes.
Which section was that?
So actually it was my dad who gave me that idea. He said, if you look at this plan, this section actually is very possible for you guys to live, even as you finish the rest, pole pole. And when I saw that, actually that is what now propelled me to go ahead.
I'm very curious to see how you converted this 4-bedroom house into, now where you're staying in a what bedroom house?
What I converted was what is in the design, master bedroom.
Okay.
So the master bedroom happened to, in the design of the house, happened to actually be very ideal, yeah, to contain a 2-bedroom house, but with some modification. Ambayo ilikuwa inahitaji pia na mimi nitetee hiyo idea sana, sababu unajua nao pia inakuaga mambo mnajenga pamoja.
You sold a dream,
sold
and now you want to change the dream.
Exactly.
You say no more. I understand you completely. Before we even get to now where you're staying now, ulihitaji ku source for extra financing kumaliza hiyo section?
Kabla tukuje kwa extra,
nimesikia nikajua hapa ni kuzito.
Kabla tukule kwa extra, sikuwa na pesa ati yenye ningeanza nayo.
Uko umejipanga hivyo?
Sikuwa nimejipanga. So wakati niliona kabisa lazima hii nyumba ihappen, kaenda tu nikaongea na bank. Wakanikopesha kiasi yenye nilikuwa nahitaji, na kiasi pia wao wenyewe wangeweza kunikopesha. Unajua pia kuna hiyo limit. So with what I was able now to get, sasa nikakuja nikafanya mambo yangu. Na haikutosha.
So pesa yenye ulikuwa nayo haikuwa itoshe, ulikuwa unajua from the get go, ama kuna mahali pia ilifika ikaisha kabisa hata hukufika where you needed to get to at least?
I got into a deal with a company, but it was an error in judgment, even with all the research around it, but the deal did not go well.
Allah.
So I happened to have lost some money with that, and that makes that an unpleasant memory.
Unaweza tuambia ni pesa ngapi? Tulie na wewe, wacha tulie tu na wewe.
Hiyo machozi ilishaisha sababu nilishaamua kukuja hapa, lakini siwezi taka kukumbuka. Nikikumbuka nitasikia vibaya sana.
Keeping a keen eye on how much you're spending while building your home is important. No one wants to run out of money. So, who can help avoid being in this situation? I met up with Patience Mulondo, a quantity surveyor who put into perspective the importance of planning your finances for any construction project. So what does a quantity surveyor do?
Quantity surveyors do construction cost management and contract administration. So we advise on construction costs right from the beginning when we give you budgets and estimates that help you with your planning process.
At what point is it advisable for a quantity surveyor to come in?
Right from the beginning.
Will you be able to advise me where X amount itanifikisha, ama ni wewe unataka kujenga nyumba, jipange, hii ndio pesa unahitaji, jipange, or are you able to also advise on where I can get the financing that I'd need?
We can cost in different ways. We can cost a design. Ushaenda ukapata drawings from the architects and the engineers, na tukwambie, this is how much it'll cost. But we can also design to a cost. That is also very possible. So you give us a budget, and that budget can guide us as a consultancy team on what we will give you as an end product.
I'm still quite eager to see now where you're staying, you know, the conversion that you did. But I'm curious to know, umeanza kujenga nyumba na unajua hii pesa haitatosha. Ulikuwa unapata usingizi?
Sikuwa napata usingizi Matu. Mtu tulikuwa tunakosana na yeye kila siku ni huyo foreman. Lakini ni kukosana tu ya ile ya ananidai tu pesa. Unajua ile tu yani, si uliniambia unataka si meeting this amount. Na nikanunua na zikakuja na tukahesabu ziko hapo. Sasa hii ni mambo gani tena inakuwa? That was hard.
Yeah.
And that feeling ya sasa unajua sasa ile pesa ulikuwa umepangia, unaona sasa ikienda.
Yeah.
Hiyo ndio sasa ilikuwa ndio drama ya 2020. But this... Yes. Sasa hapa ndio nimekwambia ndio tunaishi. It's actually a 2-bedroom house. Similar to the one that we were living in before we came here. Hii hapa hii yenye unaona hii hapa. Haiko iko mlango. Mlango ilikuwa tu ile yenye umeona hapo.
The main yenye tumetokea.
Yenye tumetokea.
The main entrance.
Of course your kitchen.
And the kitchen yenye tuliingilia.
What
was this then?
This was just my window, a master bedroom.
Interesting. Tuingie tafadhali.
Karibu sana.
Thank you. So, hiyo ni modification ya kwanza. What was a window, now is a door.
Yes.
Haya. And this is?
This is the bathroom. Yes. That one, no change was done.
This was the master...
That was the plan.
It's en suite. It was en suite, huh?
Yes.
Okay. And here you have a kitchen.
Yes.
Goja. Ulipanga, mtu anajenga nyumba na kwa bedroom yake anapanga kuweka kitchen. Ai, hata wewe.
Haikuwa mpango. That was not the original plan. The original plan, hii ni walk-in closet. Yes.
And that was definitely not your idea.
What?
Walk-in closet.
That is an idea that comes
from consultation.
From consultation. Maybe man, this would have been too much. Maybe a box.
This is interesting. Okay. Yeah. And that's convenience ikakuja that this was modified.
Because of the need for space.
Yeah.
They actually worked out for us.
Hopefully when you finish eventually, ni karibishwa tu ni kuja. Unakumbuka hii ilikuwa kitchen, sasa ni closet.
Hata utaingia huku, itakuwa master bedroom.
Nilikuwa nikidhani hiyo nitapita tu hivyo. Okay. And I'm guessing that is now the way to the bedrooms.
Yes, now these are the 2 bedrooms. Yeah.
So, hii ukuta, I am assuming
ile ukuta ndio haikuwa ikue.
Uh-huh.
So ndio tuweze kuishi hapa and also pia kuangalia upepo, security pia mambo yote na pia nyumba ikae complete. Kasema funga hii corridor. Wacha tukue na ukuta hapo ambayo tutakuja baadaye wakati sasa tumemaliza kule
great.
Yeah.
Okay. So now we have what is supposed to be the master bedroom that I am only getting the privilege now. I shall not get ever again.
We will not get the privilege to be in this room next time you come around.
This was actually to be very big, eh?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a spacious and modern.
I think that was an amazing idea to convert the master bedroom into its own individual unit. When it comes to construction, basically it's to have the option of having an income. So for him, he's increasing the income he can gain from that house by converting the master into its own singular unit, because he can even lease it out by itself, or he can live in there as he continues with the construction. So it's good to keep an open mind and to have those options, especially so that you can have an income option on the home.
The important thing is comfort.
True.
You may not, of course, be that comfortable as when the house is complete. Safety and the health of the occupants. So huwezi fanya hiyo room moja, umalize kabisa, na mnenda mko watu kama 7.
Of course.
Is not good for you.
It's not advisable.
Yes. Yeah. So it is the consultants who will guide you through the process. Like, we can do this, this can wait, this can't wait. So hata kama mnaingia, lazima washroom is available and usable. Yes. So siwezi nikakwambia tumalize nyumba, tutaleta choo.
Choo ni huko nje kwa kona pit latrine.
Hapana. So yes, you look at what is necessary for a person to live decently in that facility, and work on that, and enable the person to at least now move in and save slowly to be able to finish the rest of the structure.
What was your experience kujenga now this structure that we're in? Ulijijengea wewe mwenyewe, ulikuwa na foreman, mafundi? Wewe ulikuwa unatoka kazini kila jioni ama ulikuwa unashinda hapa kila siku?
Nilikuwa na foreman mwenye alikuwa ananijengea, lakini kila jioni, kwa sababu sikuwa nakaa mbali, nilikuwa nakuja kuangalia progress, mambo inaendeleaje. Na yeye alikuwa anashughulika na mafundi.
And the process with him was smooth?
The guy I got, at least he was able to account for me everything. Every stage ananielezea, this is what we require, this is what we used, this is what remained. Ama, this is what we required initially, but we need much more.
That was actually going to be my next question is, was everything as per expectation budget-wise?
Well, before I went to engage anyone for financing, I had the plan and I saw, okay, this one is actually possible. But along the way, some materials, I had to get some more. But also because of the prices. Some of this, kuna vitu zina fluctuate, kama chuma zina fluctuate bei sana.
So you helped me, do my hesabu, you've helped me in the tendering process. I have solid contracts, I have the people that I need on my site. do you also need me on the site to ensure that since quantity surveyor alisema mtatumia simiti 5 na mimi ndio niko na funguo ya store, mbona mnaitisha simiti 6? Do I need to be there?
So when you have your consultants, you do not have to be there.
So very many people are advising against that. Why? Unasema
You see,
dawa ya mjengo ni kukua hapo wewe mwenyewe.
No, not necessarily. There's no reason to be on site permanently. The reason you're paying us is to avoid wasting time on managing matters that you don't fully understand.
So, all right, we'll decide when we get there with the costing.
Nimejenga nyumba yangu, nimefika mahali, nimekwama. Pesa imeisha. Ile pesa nilikuwa nimepangia against what nimepata, ni hivyo, imeisha. Is there any hope for me?
Well, first nitakwambia imeisha juu kupanga vizuri.
Unanirushia mawe?
Lazima. Ai. Imeisha juu kupanga vizuri. Ama unfortunately maybe timu yako haikukupanga vizuri. Yeah. So if the worst comes to the worst, sometimes you have to sell off. Not a good experience.
After umepatio stress yote, na hiyo hautalipwa stress.
Yes. So it's very important to understand your finances as the client.
First things first.
It's good to insure your property at the very beginning. Just in case of anything happening, at least you've already insured the property, and if you need to make a claim, it's possible. It's possible you could have missed a step. It's possible you didn't have the buffer. But even, as I said, with all that calculation and preparation, it is still possible to get to a point where you can't complete the construction.
What lessons have you learned that you'd want to share?
Kama kabisa unataka kujenga, chora, unajua plan kwa sababu hakuna kitu mbaya kama kuanza project kama hii ukiwa na that goal in mind, alafu ikwame. Ukue sasa mtu mwenye alianza na dream enye sasa imekosa kabisa kutimia.
Yeah.
But usisahau kuconsult. Usijenge
wale
nyumba
ambao hawako peke yao.
Usijenge nyumba ambayo unatarajia kuishi na bibi yako ambayo unampenda sana.
Alafu useme unapanga kumsurprise.
Ati surprise tu hivi ghafla bin vu.
Wewe ndio utashangaa.
Nyumba ndio hii. Utashangaa sana. Na utajipata ukijenga nyumba nyingine. So consult my friend, hiyo ni muhimu sana. Jengeni pamoja.
Before you get to the stage where you're in finishings and making those changes, I would say, as you consult with your spouse, try and think through those things before that stage. Then it's not about increasing the cost of the house, because those changes, any renovations costs a lot of money. Changing a window costs a lot of money. It may seem like something small and you need more light in the room, but because of the kind of pillars they have to put in there and the steel, it's a lot of expense that you could not have planned for.
You know, when you're building your home, there's that excitement. You've already seen the end product. Yes. So there's a lot of excitement. You can't wait. Umeingia nyumba ya nani, you've picked that floor finish. Kwa nyumba ya ule, I'll do these curtains. So there's always so much excitement. You just want to hit the ground running. No, take time. Take time, get consultants to guide you through.
So how does involving all these professionals, contribute towards affordable housing?
The professionals have vast experience in different projects. So they know where and how to cut costs without compromising on quality and anything statutory. So that is their work. Just make sure you give them a budget to work with, and they will work with it.
And is there any risk that falls on you in case I follow your advice to the T?
Yes.
And then pesa ishe mali hapo?
Yes.
Yes.
If I did not advise you well, I'll be liable to have made you invest in a dead project, literally. Yeah, so professionals have something called professional indemnity. so that in case of any professional misconduct, it can come into play.
Kama Mungu anaweza niwezesha nimalize mahali nimebakisha bila kukopa tena, itakuwa furaha yangu.
We've given you ideas on where to get the money, how to plan it and spend it, and finally, the options you can take when the money runs out. Are you confident enough to start building your dream home now? I hope so. All this is in an effort to help you build more affordably. There is a risk at every turn if you don't use professionals. It might cost you a little bit more to secure them. But if it results in you not losing millions during the construction process, doesn't that make owning a home more affordable? This is Tujenge. My name is Martin Githinchi, and that's how you build it better.